Welcome. This is a committee for labor, which is here specifically to conduct your vetting. And maybe before we proceed further, I think, do we take a prayer again? I think we'll go straight to introduce ourselves. Behind you is a gentleman who you may know.
Sure.
Are you familiar in any way with him?
I know him, yes.
You know him, eh?
Yes.
So
yes.
I was not wrong to say that.
Yes.
Okay, that also means that I also know something about you.
Sure.
Okay, let's proceed.
I'm Patrick Simiyu Barasa, MP Cherengani constituency, and a member of this committee.
Thank you.
Mary Wamaua, member of Parliament, Maragua constituency, and a member of this committee.
Pleasure, madam.
And I'm Ken Chonga, the chair of the Labour Committee. We have two more who are coming. There's one who just stepped out. So don't feel intimidated when you find some heavy frames getting into this hall, because they're heavier than me. Can we have the secretary to introduce himself?
Thank you, Chair. Abenai Wasike, Head of Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Samuel Wanjiru, Clerk Assistant.
Timothy Chico, Research Officer.
Wamboye Nyachai, Research Officer.
Coletta Sigilai, Legal Counsel.
Yasmin Hassan, Sergeant.
Ambrose Nkoti, Media Relations.
I think we have all introduced ourselves. So what is next is to administer the oath.
I, Ali Abdullahi Surraw, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matters under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Bwana Ali, are you accompanied or you are alone?
No, I'm alone.
Okay. Okay, I think the next is to authenticate his documents and confirm whether we are vetting the correct person.
No, you don't need this.
It's confirmed that the documents have been perused and confirmed that we are vetting the correct candidates. So, welcome, Mana Ali. I think you are very well informed about your being here. This is the committee that is charged with the responsibility of vetting most of those candidates who fall under Public Service Commission. And before maybe the members ask you any question, I think I would like to give you an opportunity to fully introduce yourself and get to know who you are and what is it about you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and members. First of all, I really want to take this opportunity to thank the committee for allowing me to appear before you. I'm really humbled today to appear before you for this very important national duty. By way of introduction, I think from the documents you have confirmed that I am Ali Abdullahi Surraw. Ali is a Kenyan from Mandera County, and but who has lived in many parts of this country. Born in Mandera County, but has lived in many parts of this country. A Kenyan with requisite academic qualification for this position. I am a PhD candidate, but also currently a master's in public administration. I have over 20 years experience in the public service, and I bring on board rich experience in leadership, a track record of performance, as well as the ability to manage complex institutions with integrity. So that is Ali in short. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now the next stage is to throw this to the members if they have any. I will allow, and if there are no questions, then I think we'll proceed. But maybe before the members ask any question, what is this? Yeah, before even members ask any questions, there are some issues that need to be made clear. This committee would be glad to know about your net worth, whether you have been convicted in a court of law, and when, whether you have been adversely mentioned in a parliamentary committee report, and also we would also wish to know your marital status. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll start with the last one. I am married and happily married. Secondly, I have not been adversely mentioned in any parliamentary records or reports. I have never been convicted in any court for any matter, and my net worth is currently 19 million.
Members? Yes, Honorable Baraza.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Ali,
Yes, sir.
You have a lot of experience in matters corporate governance. Now that if approved, you are going to be the CEO for SRC. Do you have any new structures, or tell us the ones that are there? How are you going to strengthen them in to boost the service of SRC?
Thank you very much, Honorable Barrow.
I add on a second question before you.
Sorry.
You can note down that one.
Okay, I've noted.
Okay, the second one, there exist a lot of disparities in wages or salaries between the national and county governments. How are you going to address this? Thank you, Chairman.
Maybe you answer those questions first before you take.
Thank you very much, Honorable Baraza. Yes, I have in-depth of experience in corporate governance, and I want to state that currently SRC has, in my research, I have seen that they have a good corporate governance system where there is a clear responsibility, and you know, the governance structures are well built, and we have accountability and transparency programs. We have a commission charter, and there are also clear roles between the Secretariat and the Commission, and the reporting systems are also in place. So, but from my perusal of the last strategic plan of the SRC, in the implementation, in their analysis of lessons learned, I have identified 3 areas of weakness. One is actually suboptimal monitoring and evaluation mechanism, and I intend to improve on that in terms of bringing up, you know, a system of monitoring and evaluation that is able to give us information for real-time interventions in progresses made in implementation of the decisions of the Commission. Another recommendation that I've seen is suboptimal level of stakeholder engagement, and that affects governance. And I would want to focus on that also in terms of establishing, you know, predictable cycles of consultations, so that then the stakeholders are kept informed of the decisions of the Commission and the policy advisories, and also ensure that they understand the why behind those decisions. So those are the 2 key. There could be others, but in brief, I would want to, you know, focus on, and that is as a result of data and analysis from the last strategic plan of the Commission. Thank you. In terms of how to handle disparities in wages between national and county government, yes, I admit that there are disparities, and these disparities are, some of them are historical, others are because of fiscal space. So, and it really affects performance and morale among staff. So when I get the opportunity to be the CEO, I'll work with the Commission to ensure that we are able to get the right facts and data, see the causes of those disparities, and implement the principle which guides, you know, a remuneration, which is the principle of equal pay for work of equal value. If we're able to do that, then we are able to address those challenges. In terms of wage bill, the national government have been able to achieve at least the 35%, but the counties are still struggling. And 41 out of 47 counties have not been able to meet the requirement of the wage bill not to be more than 35%. So that in itself affects the remuneration within counties. And if we are able to address and come up with strategies to, you know, handle this ballooning of wage bill, then we are able to, you know, address those disparities. Thank you.
Honorable Baraza, are you satisfied?
Yes, I'm satisfied, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I can see from from the report that once you were a CEC. And it is true, my colleague here has talked of the disparities within the officers in the county government and in the national. I don't know how you are prepared now that you will be the CEO in SRC to make sure that you enhance that, and could be try to sort out such disparities, because I know there are those that you are experiencing and now you have gotten a chance as the CEO. Two, Chair, we would like him maybe to describe any major reform that he has read in his previous law and how similar approaches could be used to enhance CRC operational efficiency. Let him first of all answer those two, because I still have more questions to ask, Chair.
Thank you. Proceed, Bwana Surraw.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Yes, as I have earlier stated, I have first-hand experience in terms of seeing those disparities. And as I said, some of the disparities within the county, actually, even within a particular county, there are disparities, because we, during the devolution, implementation of devolution in 2013, some officers came from national government, others came from the county councils and municipal councils, and others were employed by the county. So they all come in at different levels. Because of CBAs and many other reasons, you realize that those in the counties and municipalities were earning more than actually those devolved from national government, and the ones which are entering service are also starting at a higher rate. So at that particular time, there was an attempt to harmonize, and initiatives were placed. And by the way, I was a CEC in the first devolution, the first county governments, when we were establishing systems that were not there. We are starting from scratch. So we attempted working with the Transitional Authority and also the National Treasury and Ministry of Planning. We attempted to do some bit of harmonization, and it has worked. So within the counties, at least those issues have been addressed. But now the disparities between national and county government still exists. And as I said, proper job evaluations, proper job grading structures, linking productivity to, to pay, and ensuring that we are competitive enough in terms of remuneration, we will be able to address those initiatives. But the problem actually has always been accurate data. So if we're able to get accurate data from all our sources, all the public sector employers in this country, then we will be able to make decisions based on effective data. To go to the next question, the major reforms, I can talk about 3 of them, for example.
Maybe before you go to the next question, I think he has mentioned something very critical. Of course, the issue of data is the only tool that can guide us on what we are paying and to who. And I'm very sure even your predecessors are aware that the only instrument they can use to harmonize is the issue of data, which has been either elusive or by coincidence, by design, evasive. How do you address that?
Thank you, Chairman, and I will address that in response to my second question, because one of the key reforms that I want to talk about is, ICT reform and infrastructure, development of ICT infrastructure, implementation within the ORPP. I'm currently the Deputy Registrar of Political Parties, and I want to say here that one of the key reform that we initiated with the team is an upgrade of the ICT system and infrastructure of ORPP to make it user-friendly and also make it deliver results for us. You realize that in the past, the data on political parties, membership, as well as political parties themselves have not been brought together, and they are, spread everywhere. So we initiated a reform where we had to capture all the data of membership of political parties in this country into one big register and segregated along political parties. One of the reasons why we initiated those reforms is that because Kenyans used to be registered into political parties without their consent. You realize you just go and check your status, you go to the office of the registrar and you are told you are a member of a political party which you have never joined. So that really made us think very much and come up with a system that is able to stop that, safeguard that, and be able to seek consent from a member in case a party wants to register. So we came up with also a system that is able to help Kenyans to be able to check their status from the comfort of their home, even without smartphones. We were able to also, give Kenyans an opportunity to use USSD and use an interactive website to get information and to get services from the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. Now, to answer your question, I think the trick is in leveraging technology. If we are able, first of all, to move all payrolls of public sector employers into one unified human resource management system and enforce that decision to the latter, then we are able to, get that data right. But not just getting the data, but we also need to use, advanced data and analytics as well as AI to be able to weed out and clean those data, and then stop this issue of manual payrolls, independent payroll systems for individual institutions. Once we're able to harmonize that, then I'm sure that we will be able to address the problem of data. And as you said, it can be both. It can just be, it could even be evasive nature of some of the public sector employers. Another reform initiative that I initiated is, the human resource reform at ORPP. When I joined ORPP, I'm also in charge of human resource within ORPP, and I realized that the grading structure is really very short and does not give a proper, career progression for staff. So I initiated a reform process to, elongate the grading structure from 10 tier to 12 tier, and that involves a lot of change management, also engaging stakeholders and being able to consult with other government agencies, including SRC, get necessary approvals from the Public Service Commission, and successfully initiated and migrated to the 12-tier structure. That will help me also in my job at SRC to be able to, give proper advisories on grading structures for public entities, but also implement such reforms if there is any need for it within the SRC itself. Thank you very much, Chair and member.
Chair,
before you proceed, Mheshimiwa,
yes.
let's allow the member who has just walked in to introduce himself.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry for late arrival. My name is Honorable James Koyo, MP for Moroni, and a ranking member of this committee.
Maua, proceed.
Yes, Chair, it's just a continuation of something he has mentioned on the issue of career progression. I think in this country we have a problem of the career progression whereby you find our employees stagnating in a certain job for more than 15 years. I don't know what kind of reform or advisory maybe to the government that can lead maybe to the motivation of the employees that we work, making sure that within a certain period of time, there is the career progression which positively will benefit that person. I don't know what you're going to do because I know that one is an issue.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just waiting to hear what he has to say on the issue of career progression, which is a big challenge in this country where employees are stagnating for even more than 10 or even 15 years, still within the same.
Proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Mheshimiwa Wamaua. Yes, I have first-hand experience in what you are saying because I have worked in many institutions, and one of them actually had a similar problem, although I was not at the major decision-making position. And I think the panacea to that, in my opinion, is proper workforce planning. Workforce planning prepares, organizations to be able to, clearly establish their human resource needs and also plan how to, fill them and make staff progress. And career progression is one of the key motivators for human resource. So proper planning will make, staff move to the next level when they meet the requirement in terms of qualification and fill the next position. So when we do proper planning in terms of human resource together with succession planning, then we are able to make staff progress. So I know it's a challenge. It is one that requires a deliberate effort from the Public Service Commission, as well as all the other state agencies that are involved in this. But we have clear progression guidelines. The only thing is that the structure is bottom heavy, and sometimes the vacancies that are available for progression are fewer than the officers who are supposed to move to that position. So many times, a few of them move, but because the vacancies are not, enough, some of them stagnate. So that also speaks to recruitment even. Are we recruiting more than what our establishments are saying? Because if we recruit in line with the establishments, then we are able to ensure proper career progression. So if we address the issues of recruitment based on established structure and proper workforce planning and succession planning, I think that could be addressed. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Wamaua is satisfied, but I'm convinced that you have not answered the question. Because if I had Honorable Wamaua very to be precise, is that there is too much career stagnation. And I'm very sure even your predecessors have been there. And their observation of how to approach this is similar to what you have already told us. You have already even indicated by yourself that maybe the slots up there are not available or few, or we are over recruiting. But all said and done, the issue of low morale of production is there because of career stagnation. So I expected maybe you are going to give me a different approach of how you are going to deal with the issue of personnel being demoralized because of no progress in their career. I still want to believe that there's a better way that you can boost the morale, and also maybe think of how officers could rise in their ranks. Maybe, like the other day, we had our president saying, all the police officers who are of the age of 50 and they are still in the cadre of constables, if I'm not wrong, should be promoted, irrespective of whatever the case. I think the president had observed something similar to what Honorable Wamaua is talking about. Because you can imagine someone who has served for 50 years and is still a police constable honestly. He is only waiting for retire, but the morale of working is not there. This is the same question Honorable Wamaua is directing to you. I don't know whether I'm clear.
Yes, you are clear, Chair.
Are you convinced that I'm asking a pertinent question?
I am convinced.
Are you convinced that you did not answer the question?
I am saying that I've given recommendations which has not met your requirements, but again, from where I sit, Chairman, you have put it rightly. This is something within the mandate of the Public Service Commission, but at SRC, there are recommendations that we can give. But there are certain initiatives and actions that SRC cannot take on its own. The recommendations, for example, that you said is way in place and a very good one, and it's also provided for in the Public Service, policy, Public Service Commission policy, where there are special considerations to, for promotions that Public Service Commission can implement. So I was not able to articulate that, as you rightfully said, but it's something that the Public Service Commission can be able to do for special consideration addressing this target. But the question, Chair, will be then again, what is the extent? Are we able to address all those stagnations, which is true, it's there, but within a sustainability, framework? That will also pose another challenge. Thank you.
The reason why you are being vetted for this position is to be able to see or to know from you how much you can synergize to get solutions to some of these challenges. Yeah. However, let me just not put you on it. Okay. I have 3 questions from Honorable Samal Lomwa. As you know, our honorable member has a problem, has been undergoing some medical issues, and there's a problem with speech. But I have 3 questions from him. 1, SRC requires continuous stakeholder alignment amid reforms. How will you apply your change management and organizational transformation training to lead transition process smoothly? That is question number 1. Question number 2, what governance weaknesses have you observed at SRC? And what reforms would you prioritize within the first 12 months of your potential appointment? Would you strengthen internal controls, audit mechanism, and risk management structures? Then the last question is, how will you improve SRC communication and public perception, especially on contentious issues like salary reviews and allowances? Those are 3 questions from Honorable Samal.
Thank you very much, Chair. If you allow me.
Yes. Proceed.
Thank you. I'll start with the change management and transformation, smooth transformation. And as you rightly put it, I have training in change management. I have experience in managing change within organizations that I've worked before. And when you are supposed to initiate change management initiatives, first of all, you don't introduce change for change reasons. You have to, identify the need for the change. And you can identify that through, looking at the internal and external environment, identifying problems, inefficiencies, but also opportunities that exist. And based on your finding, then you come up with change management strategy. But as you come up with a strategy, you need also to identify your stakeholders and engage them so that they are on board and you're able to convert them as supporters of the change initiatives. So identify, then come up with a strategy, and when you are coming up with a strategy, you really need to clarify that what is the purpose of this particular change, what is the scope, and what are the objectives. So if those are very clear, then it becomes easy for you to be able to, implement the change initiative. So stakeholder engagement requires that the stakeholders are in sync with the change initiatives, and you can bring them in sync by identifying what their interests are, what their influences are, and actually what their power are. If you're able to identify that, then you will be able to come up with strategies to bring them on board and support your change initiatives. In terms of implementation, I will put in place a roadmap of implementation with clear timelines, and implement them in phases so that then it doesn't stop the system. And with every small success, I bring my team together, we celebrate the wins, and also relook at the strategy if there are challenges based on the input from stakeholders. And moving forward, then we also embed the change into the culture and the processes of the organization, and it becomes then very easy to be able to implement that change, and you are able to get the buy-in from the stakeholders. The next question is about the governance weaknesses that I have witnessed, and I want to borrow from the lessons learned again from the strategic plan of the SRC. I have seen there is governance, I think I had talked about earlier in terms of weak monitoring and evaluation systems, but also internal capacity has been very, very low. Internal capacity in terms of particularly on research and data analytics. So if we're able to build the internal capacity, not just for HR, but for also the workflows, systems and processes, and the workflows within the organization, the internal systems are strengthened, then we will be able to deliver. In terms of internal controls, I think, yes, it's very important to put proper internal controls. And on top of my head, the thing that I would want to see, if it's there, to strengthen it, if it's not there, to implement, is, proper standard operating procedures for all processes, ensuring that, we have segregation of duties to reduce errors and also conflicts of interest. Also put in place proper risk management framework where we have, risk owners embedded in every department, and, a properly constituted and updated risk register, and, ensuring that we have controls, tighter controls for approvals, as well as, commitments. So those are some of the internal controls mechanisms that I would intend to either strengthen or put in place. Of course, the issue of also the risk and audit committee to be strengthened is key in terms of addressing the controls. In terms of communication and public perception on contentious issues, Chairman, I want to say that yes, there is need for open and transparent communication for all public sector institutions, so that citizens or consumers of public service are able to get clarity on your mandate as well as on the services that you provide. So for me, I would focus on, strengthening the communication infrastructure in terms of making it more open and transparent. I would also, do a proactive media management program so that we're able to engage with media to be able to correct the right messages, but also invest in public education, because it's very important to understand the mandate of SRC. There has been misconception about the mandate that SRC is out to, cut salaries of public sector workers, but that is not the case. SRC is a facilitator of public sector productivity and public sector attraction of talent, so that is not the case. The case is just to ensure that wage bill is sustainable. So we have to balance between sustainability and also remuneration. So I will also establish feedback mechanisms. I think that is very important, Chairman, where we have hotlines, where we have, interactive websites, where real-time communication can be received from citizens, individual citizens, on decisions, as well as on the mandate of SRC, and of course, prompt addressing of those issues or concerns that are raised by citizens through those feedback loops. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Bwana Ali. Mheshimiwa Koyo.
Chair, I intended to ask questions which, like Honorable Loma was reading my mind, he asked it in his question number 2. I wanted to know from my friend that since his intended appointment, when he got the notice, he must have read the list of achievements of SRC and some failures. So I wanted to know from him what he has seen, what program is he coming in with that would be value addition.
Yeah, can I?
Yes. Proceed.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mheshimiwa Koyo. Yes, I have actually looked at the achievements, and some of the achievements of SRC is, first of all, to actually reduce the wage bill, towards closer to the 35%, wage bill to revenue ratio. When SRC came in, the wage bill ratio was close to 50%. Through the initiatives put in place by SRC, it has almost come down to 39, very closer, and the target is that in the next 2 or 3 years, we should be able to achieve the 35% GDP to revenue ratio. Another key achievement of SRC is trying to do harmonization of allowances within the public service. We have seen cases where allowances used to double the basic pay, and there are all manner of allowances. I've lost track of it. The last time I checked, it was over 149 allowances paid to public services. But SRC has been able to, harmonize that, rationalize that, and be able to come up and give guidance on those allowances. In terms of another achievement, of course, is being able to, promote dialogue on wage bill sustainability. And SRC has been able to organize 3 national wage bill conferences to bring together all stakeholders, and I think that is a very, very big achievement. So to, leverage on that, my focus will be definitely working on further strategies to be able now to achieve the 35% through linking pay to productivity, so that if productivity improves, then we might not need even to reduce the pay because the revenue will go up, but we will still continue to review allowances upward, allowances, remuneration and benefits upwards. So that is one thing that I'll focus on, and I think we'll work very hard with the Commission to be able to achieve the 35% ratio. Another initiative that I want to put in place is improvement on the grading on the job evaluation program, particularly in terms of using, leveraging ICT to be able to come up with, objective job evaluation results. So that is actually my other focus. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa.
James, are you satisfied? Four questions to put. Bwana Ali, for very many years, the government has been spending heavily in training its personnel to be as professional as required by the scope of their duties. But so many times that once an officer has been trained, he has the qualifications that are needed, sooner he jumps to the private sector. And one of the reasons is because maybe the private sector is paying better than the civil service. So my question is, what strategies would you employ to maintain a wage balance between the public and the private sector? That is question number one. Question number two. I am very sure you have heard of the monster called ghost workers. You are more of the paymaster as a commission. And these are ghosts that has really haunted our wage bill. There has been so many conferences and discussions around this subject, because every month the Kenyan government is immensely losing a lot of money just because of paying non-existent people. It may not fall directly, but as a reformist, you have a duty. If you are to be given the opportunity to be the CEO, de facto secretary to the commission, how would you address this challenge? And the other question is, how would you convince this committee that you are the most suitable candidate for this constitutional leadership role? I would like you to respond to that before you take some other questions. But before you take any question, we have another member who has just joined. Allow him to introduce himself.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Sorry for coming in late. My name is Kivai Kagesi, MP Vihiga, and a member of this committee. Thank you.
You may proceed to answer those questions before you pick some other questions.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and thank you, members. I want to start with the one on, why trained public officers leave to join the private sector and how to balance the differentials in pay between the public and private sector. Mr. Chairman, I agree with you. There are instances when public officers join private sector for better pay, for reasons of better pay. And but I just want to start with saying that there has been some bit of progress in terms of, comparison between public sector and private sector pays in this country. And particularly at the lower levels, actually data shows that public sector pays better than the private sector. But as you said, as we go up and more specialized skills are attained, private sector is a big competitor of talent against the public sector. And I agree also that public sector is very good in capacity building and training of its staff. How to address this is basically to be able to, as we said, be able to do competitive remuneration comparable to the private sector. And that can be achieved through regular and periodic labor market survey. If you're able to conduct And that also is one of the key ingredients of determination of remuneration by SRC in terms of, looking at comparable pay in the private sector for comparable jobs. If we are able to do that and implement it, of course, we cannot implement it as standalone. Sometimes you may want to, take that alone and see that there's a bit of difference between the private and public sector, but because of affordability and sustainability, you might not be able to achieve that optimal level. But if we are continue to use the market survey and give other initiatives, because again, it's not just about the actual pay itself. As you have rightly put it, there are other non-financial benefits that the public sector gives to its employees, including non-financial benefits like the training and also other benefits, fringe benefits like, mortgages and issues that are able to make us retain talent. So, but the bottom line is that we have to be competitive. There's no question about that. And we can get that through data, as I've said, through labor market surveys. The issue around ghost workers, I agree, is a big issue. Chairman, I know a lot of effort has been put into this. And I think it boils down to integrity and just our national consciousness. Because if you have been made in charge of public resources at whatever level, and you are able to compromise your integrity by allowing yourself to do things that are not right, then that's a big challenge. So we have to start from there. It boils down to integrity, and there is need for national consciousness building so that we address from the grassroots level. If you go to the counties, if you go to national government entities, MDAs, the problem still exists. So one thing to address is we need to address our culture in terms of promoting a culture of integrity and ethical behavior in our public sector institutions. And I think that is a complementary effort by all government agencies to be able to, improve one of the actually deliverables or the recommendations of the third wage bill conference is to ensure, a cultural transformation of the public service. And that cultural transformation should target the issue of integrity and also be able to, improve morality within our institutions. But moving from there, again, we still need to have a unified human resource management system. There has been a proposal towards that. There has even been an advisory from the head of public service that by June 2025, all public entities are supposed to move to the one central human resource information management system. Again, we have not fully complied with that. The issue of compliance enforcement is also very critical by the agencies that are concerned, so that we do away with manual payrolls, we do away with standalone payrolls, and we have one unified payroll, which is based on official establishment of all the entities and which is populated and being monitored by multi-government agencies. I think that is what I can say for now, Chair. The third one is why I think I am the most suitable candidate. Chairman, I believe I am the most suitable candidate for this position because I bring a wealth of experience in skills that are key in performance of the duty of the CEO of SRC, because I bring in leadership experience, I bring in strategic leadership, I bring in a track record of performance from all I have worked. I also bring in experience in human resource, experience and training in human resource management, where I am a certified human resource professional, and I have been able to manage public institutions of all cadre. One experience I bring actually is, Chairman, because SRC gives advisories to both county and national government, to MDS, and to state parastatals. I have worked in a county government, I have worked in national government, I have worked in a parastatal, I have worked in a constitutional commission, I have worked in an independent office, and therefore have a feel of what it looks like to be employed in all those customers of SRC. Thank you very much.
Honorable Wamaua.
Thank you, Chair. Assume this committee approves your nomination and you become the CEO of the commission. Bearing in mind, one of the mandate of SRC is to set and regularly review the remuneration and benefit of the state officers. You know we have been having strikes all over, from the lecturers, from teachers, from doctors and nurses. And all these surrounds salaries and remuneration. Do you think you would have any input or any reform or anything that you may call to try and maybe fight or reconcile the stalemate and maybe in a way avert these strikes, because most of the time they are those who are affected, especially when you talk of the doctors and the nurses. We have patients who would not have succumbed to death who find themselves getting the same. You come to the lecturers, you find that our students in the universities or even in schools when teachers also go on strike, we have the students suffering. So within your mandate, what do you think you can do together with other state organs to try and maybe avert the strikes?
Thank you, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mheshimiwa. I totally agree, and I have a feel. I have a daughter at the university who has not been in class for the last 3 months, so I feel what you are saying, and I also know what happened in Kiambu in terms of the doctor strike. So I want to say that SRC has a role in terms of, advisory, and I want to commend the Commission for giving out what they call the collective bargaining negotiations guideline. And that gives a clear guideline in terms of how collective bargaining agreements are supposed to be negotiated, particularly in the public sector. And I think this problem is historical. And you see CBAs that have been signed way many years back that have not been honored. One of the things is that I think to start with is all the previous agreements need to be honored by the public sector employers, so that then moving forward we're able to negotiate based on the guidelines and advisories that have been issued by SRC. Again, in terms of stakeholder engagement, SRC takes unions and employers as part of key stakeholders. Actually, a union representative sits in the commission of SRC. So there is a lot of goodwill to ensure that the negotiations and the engagement with between unions and public sector employers move from adversarial to collegial. If we're able to do that in terms of ensuring that there is trust between institutions, and there are also employers take before unions data that is factual and accurate, then unions are also Kenyans and they're able to understand the sustainability and affordability of some of the demands. So it's a balance between the rights which are enshrined in Article 41 of labor relations and the right to join union and bargain, and also the issue of sustainability and affordability within the fiscal framework. So I think it's engagement, transparent communication, changing the tactic from being adversarial to collegial. We will be able to moving forward, bring some of these challenges down. But at the end of the day, what is very important is all the historical agreements need to be honored. Thank you, Madam.
Chairman, a last question. Within the many of the CEOs that we have had in the CRC, we cannot miss an example of some who have been very independent. And there goes my question. What strategy will you implement to ensure CRC decisions remain independent, evidence-based, and insulated from political pressures? Are you here because you have been supported by anyone in government whom within your decision as you guide the rest of the commissioners you'll be influenced? How will you read the other commissioners within the CRC so that your evidence is not politically motivated? How independent will you be?
That one, can we hear from Honorable Kagesi? I saw as if you had something to.
Thank you, Chairman. Let me just start by apologizing because I might be asking a question that has already been asked, but you'll bear with me. I want to take the candidate, the nominee, to one of the tools, to the questionnaire we gave you to fill. It's a self-fulfilling questionnaire. It is a tool that assists us to actually assess your suitability. In fact, I want to refer you to it. Do you have it? But you can remember. Under number 23, we asked you for sources of income, both in 2024 and 2025. 2025 is actually, we are finishing the year. The figures I notice is that the year 2024 are less. The figures you've given us for 2024 are more than 2025. Were you unemployed at some stage? Those figures, one expects them to go up. Number 2, we have asked you under number 25 for statement of net worth. You have just thrown a figure of 19 million. We would like to know, to have more details of that. Net worth means assets less liabilities. So I think you should give us more on that. And lastly, we asked you for references. The first one you've given us is the registrar of political parties. That's somebody who is of interest to us. We normally do our own references to her or that office. Why that particular office as a referee? Thank you.
Okay, Ali, we'll respond to the 4 questions.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me start with the Mheshimiwa cases. They are more easier. As I address the one for the independence. Mheshimiwa, why I chose Anne Nderitu, Commissioner, she's currently Commissioner actually of Electoral Commission. And because I work in that office, and she was my former immediate supervisor, I have been serving as a deputy under her. So that is why she is one of my referees. She's a professional referee because I've worked with her and she can forge on my capacities and capabilities. And she has currently moved from the ORPP and she's a commissioner with Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. The second is about, of course, the net worth. Sorry for that. The 19 million is composed of land, plots, and a few cows, and a small cash in bank account. So I can give the breakdowns if they are needed. I don't have much. In terms of why the income for 2023 and 2024 is lower than 2025 is because I have not earned my December salary. So that was a full year of for 2024. This is less by about 1 month. So that's why the figure for 2025 is lower. I hope that answers your question. In terms of, okay. In terms of independence, first of all, Mheshimiwa, I want to say that I'm not on anybody's errand. Nobody has supported me to this level. It's God and my efforts. Number two, yes, we have had instances where SRC has been even at loggerheads with this house in terms of, pay and benefits because of the decision it has made. And I think that the independence of the commissions, all commissions, not just SRC, need to be protected. And I want to assure you that, first of all, I don't chair, I am the CEO and secretary. I have my seniors. The commissioners are my seniors, and most of the decisions are made by the commissioners. I implement and provide secretarial service to the commission. So, but I, as an advisor and as an implementer of decisions of the commission, I would safeguard to death the independence of SRC. And the reason how we can ensure that is to ensure that we are doing strict adherence to the law. If we're able to make our decisions based on strict application of the law and use data and evidence to make those decisions and engage strategically. Because again, the other thing, why organizations or institutions are influenced, because I come from one also which faces many times make difficult decisions. The RPP actually is also more or less similar. The decisions we make affects the country. So many times I have seen pressure coming in terms of making a decision one way or another, different groups expecting different outcomes, but we have always found our saving grace in strict adherence to the law and making decisions based on law and facts, and also engaging stakeholders strategically. If stakeholders are able to understand where you are coming from and the why behind the decision that you make, most of the times they tend to reduce resistance and understand your point of view. So those are the ways in which I can safeguard the independence of the decision of the commission. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kagesi.
I just want to ride on that question by Mheshimiwa on potential, whether you are somebody's errand boy. And that we gave you in the same document that I've referred to, we asked you to explain how you will resolve any potential conflict of interest. And you've gone there, I can't even read what you wrote there. Because it is related to the question my colleague is asking you, how you can be independent decision making. Now, if you don't have a copy, I think you can read mine. You've gone, I can't get any single what you're trying to answer here.
All right. I know what I've written, member.
Can you?
Yes.
Can you just read it to us? Because I don't get, either you didn't understand the question.
Okay. The question was number?
Is number 26B.
26B. How will you handle the issue of potential conflict of interest? And I said, first of all, I need to,
yeah, just read what you wrote to us. Just read it.
Yes, I will check if a close relative of myself will benefit from a decision that I'm involved in. That's the first thing, to identify the conflict of interest. Whether I have a private financial interest or whether a past relationship might compromise my judgment. That is a way of identifying whether there is conflict of interest. Then, if I am clear that there is a conflict of interest and there is a potential conflict, I will start by disclosure. I will say this particular decision that I'm going to make, there is a conflict of interest, and I will disclose. And I will document it in writing so that I put it on record. Then I will explain the nature of conflict and recuse myself from making that decision. That's what I've written.
Now expound.
Sorry?
Now expound. That's what you...
Oh, I expound. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm saying that conflict of interests are guided by the law in this country. And the first thing is you have to, disclose that you have an interest in a particular, there is an interest. If a decision is coming before the commission, or there is an action that I'm supposed to take that is going to conflict with between the public and my personal capabilities, I have to disclose. That's the first step. And after I disclose, I have to recuse myself from involvement in that decision and make the rest of the commission continue to take a decision on that. That is my expansion of the conflict of interest. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable James.
This is supplementary to what he is answering. My brother, you look very steady person. I'm putting this to you. If tomorrow the conflict, the usual tactic is to make sure you rattle the MPs more so immediately after elections. You have instructed from higher quarters that you look the other way, and you know the truth, that is not the correct decision. If you have instructions from higher authorities that we want it this way, and you know what you want, what would you do in circumstances like that? Be sincere.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be very sincere. And I have faced such instances before. And thank you for observing that I'm grounded. I want to confirm that I'm grounded. And I am a stickler of the law. I will definitely give the position that is aligned to the law and facts that is before me. And I will decline the request very professionally in terms of just explaining that what is being requested is not within the law and it is not practical. And I will professionally and politely decline. But if there is insistence and there is pressure, I will put those advisories in writing and report to other agencies that actually follows up on issues around enforcement of ethical standards and good governance in this country.
Yes, Mary.
Chairman, sorry for asking many questions. I can see from the experience, work and professional experience, I can see there is a time that you are working as a branch manager at the National Social Security Fund. That is between the year 2006 to 2012. Chairman, I'm looking maybe for an explanation if it is during that time that we experienced the challenges that affected the finances stroke work retirement benefits. And if it was still during that time, within your financial accountability expertise, what did you do? Or what did you run that can inform this committee that if we confirm your nomination, we are going to get the best out of the management as far as the SRC law is concerned?
Thank you very much. Yes, as you have rightly observed, I had worked as branch manager. And by the way, I worked in branch manager in Garissa, but later moved to Mombasa, which is actually the second largest branch in this country in terms of contributions from employers. And I have...
Which branch?
Mombasa branch.
Yes, I'm saying which is the first largest?
Is the city center branch, Nairobi. Oh, sorry, industrial area branch, Nairobi. I want to state that that period, if you look at the history of NSSF, that period was a period of reform. NSF has had its own share of challenges in terms of bad investment decisions, in terms of, poor benefit payments and in terms of revenue leakages. That I agree. It has a history of that. But that period I was there was actually the period when reforms were initiated by the leadership. I was not in the top management, but in my own small ways, I've been able to contribute to those reform agenda in terms of, first of all, the one thing that I'm really proud about is, automating the benefit processing system for payment of benefits to workers when they retire. In 2004, when I joined NSSF as a compliance officer, I remember people used to take even 6 months, sometimes a year, to be able to access their benefits. But by the time around 2008, when I was a branch manager in Garissa, we were able to reduce that through ICT, leveraging ICT and updating of membership records to 21 days, processing of 21 days. So since then, there has not been, going back. And I think that's when I believe the power of, automation and digitization. In terms of, what I can bring on board is the experience, first of all, on stakeholder engagement. As a branch manager, I was engaging over 3,000 employers. And also automation, which can be a game changer in, bringing about a very bad situation to a manageable one. So those are the two issues that I bring on board and try to see how I can be able to leverage on technology to improve processes and workflows at SRC and also improve on stakeholder engagement. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Bwana Ali, I think, or let me ask you, is it courteous if you are not sure of the question to be precise with your answers? I think at the level of branch manager, you do not make decisions. You are not in a level to make decisions or initiate change to that level. For your information, I was a branch manager of NSSF. I worked as branch manager in industrial area. I was a branch manager in Kiambu. I was a branch manager in Kerugoya. I was a branch manager in Narok and also at the head office. So I know everything. And for sure, I disagree in totality in the way you have responded to that. So my fear is maybe even the other questions we've lodged to you could be a similar lie. I know, of course, the biggest branch is industrial area. I have no doubt I've worked there, followed by city center, then Mombasa follows. I have no doubt about that. But when it comes to now issues to do with the policy, the branch manager who is actually at the level, by the time you're leaving, you're in SF8, to be precise. And if it was reviewed as at 2004, I can put it to you, you are in SF8. I resigned in 2006. I was in SF8. I was more senior than you. That is not even an issue. My issue is, if you can lie on something that I, as the chairman, know very well, what about the other questions that have been posed to you? How sure am I that what you're telling us is the truth about you? I have some reservation to that, and it has all come out because of what my colleague has asked. I don't know whether they equally have that reservation, but to me, I have a reservation. And maybe I would ask you at that point, why do you think this committee, now with those reservations we have, should approve your nomination?
Thank you very much, Chair. I think I want you to get what I say right. Probably there's something that you have missed. In my opening statement, I said I was not in a higher position to make decisions. I opened with that, and I said I influenced.
Which I got very well. That point I got very well.
Thank you.
And what triggered me is about what you brought, because you explained the turbulence that was going on with reforms at that time, and I know what happened. I don't need to tell the committee, but I know what happened, to which at your level, you would not be able to influence. So, I really do not, I'm actually afraid, I'm worried. And that is why I'm asking you, why do you think this committee should approve your nomination?
Thank you very much. I think, Mheshimiwa, you are at liberty to do fact-checking of whatever responses that I have given, and I still stand with the responses that I have given you, very humbly and very, with a lot of humility, and say that what I said about NSSF is, I said I was able to influence, and by the time I left, I was at grade 5, not 8. Grade 5 is actually a middle management position where there is a lot of engagement. No, regional managers are on grade 4. Regional managers were on grade 4. Branch managers are on grade 5. You can confirm that. And if you need evidence, I can even, produce letter to the secretariat, my scale. So please just get, I just wanted to correct that scenario. And middle level management influence decision. And we do strategy meetings. We participate in, meetings where we discuss performance, where we discuss strategies, and have actually annual meetings to give recommendations on improvement of systems and processes. And so probably by the time you left, things were a bit different. But when I left, I was a branch manager grade 5 at Mombasa branch, and I was able to contribute in my small ways to, the policies and strategies that have been put in place at NSSF. Thank you very much. Of course, I request the committee humbly to consider that to do fact-checking and confirm whatever I've said, so that then those fears and reservations are removed from the committee's perception. Thank you very much.
Members, we have extensively engaged the nominee, and it would be in order if maybe we ask the nominee in case he has any remarks, concluding remarks to conclude, so that we wind up this meeting.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. I think I want to start, first of all, by thanking you for the opportunity, for the indulgence, and for allowing me to respond to all the questions. I have done it to the best of my knowledge and ability, and mine is just to humbly and with a lot of humility request the committee to, approve me for the position, because I believe I have went through a very transparent recruitment process, and I meet the minimum requirements and even go beyond in terms of, leadership experience, in terms of my experience in human resource training and experience, in terms of financial management practical experiences, as well as strategic leadership. So I want to humbly request the committee to consider favorably my approval, so that then I can be able to contribute to this national duty. I thank you, Chair, and I thank all the members.
I hope you have been given back your original file that you had presented to us. And this marks the end of this vesting session. Mr. Ali, the committee will sit further, deliberate, and make a report about your vetting that shall be presented to the House anytime soon. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, members.